Imagine being locked in a dark building, surrounded by giant machines, cold, relentless, and programmed to find you. Every breath, every noise you could make could give you away. You're helpless, trapped, and the only thing you can do is survive. This is the world of Five Nights at Freddy's. But what if it wasn't just a game? What if Freddy and his friends were real, and you had to survive them in real life? Welcome to Game Science Unlocked. Today we're exploring one of the scariest horror games ever made, Five Nights at Freddy's. But here's the twist. We're not going to just talk about the game itself. We're going deeper. First, we'll look at the game's history and why it stands out in the horror genre. Then, we'll make a terrifying turn. And what if you had to survive in Freddy's world in real life? Could you make it through 5 nights? And what would that do to your mind? When Five Nights at Freddy's came out in 2014, it shook up the gaming world. Instead of following the usual horror formula, it introduced something completely different. No weapons, no running, just you, trapped in one room, trying to survive the night. Most horror games gives you a way to fight back or at least run, but FNAF traps you in a small room with only cameras, doors, and lights to protect you. And the more you use them, the more your power drains. If the power runs out, you're left in completely darkness, with Freddy right around the corner. This simple setup created a new kind of fear. Instead of fast-paced action, Five Nights at Freddy's built tension over time. The waiting, the not knowing if you're safe, that's what made it terrifying. And that constant fear? That was the key to its success. And I still remember the time when I played the Five Nights at Freddy's for the first time. And yeah, I didn't even last for a minute. But FNAF wasn't just about scares and tension. Its creator Scott Cawthon had a deeper story. Before FNAF, he made a family-friendly games, but they weren't really well received. People said the characters looked too creepy, too robotic. Instead of giving up, Scott used that feedback to create a game where the characters were meant to be creepy. Finally, when Five Nights at Freddy's launched, it went viral. Like literally so viral that the big YouTubers like Markiplier and PewDiePie played it, and millions of fans watched their reactions. The good old days. You know, the OG YouTube.
One is missing. One is missing. Where is...
Not doing it. No, you can't. Nope. Oh my God.
So, the game wasn't just popular, it became a cultural phenomenon. And soon, fans were digging deep into the game's hidden lore, trying to uncover its dark secrets.
Oh, what are you doing in the closet? Tom Cruise, get out of the closet.
Now, let's take a closer look at what makes Five Nights at Freddy's tick. You've got your cameras, these are your eyes. You need them to keep track of the animatronics, but you can't watch them all the time. Then there are doors. If an animatronic gets too close, you can close the door to block them. But the more you use the doors and cameras, the more power you use. And when that power runs out, well, you know what's going to happen next. You're left defenseless. So, these constant struggles for control is what makes the game so intense. You can't always close the doors, you can't always watch the cameras, you have to time everything perfectly to survive.
Jävlar i fittans balle!
But let's talk about the real question. What if you had to survive in Freddy Fazbear's pizza? Not in a game, but in real life. What would you do if you were locked inside with these giant animatronic killers hunting you? First, let's start with the animatronics themselves. In real life, these wouldn't be goofy, glitchy robots. These would be heavy, fast, and dangerous machines. They'd be made of solid metal, weighing hundreds of pounds. Once they're moving, there's no stopping them. I mean, you could check this bear running for his food or something. So yeah, pretty much that sums it all. If these machines malfunction or were programmed to target you, they could easily become lethal. Real animatronics have powerful motors and hydraulics. If they came after you, they wouldn't hesitate. They'd keep coming until they found you. So how would you survive if you were trapped in a place like Freddy Fazbear's? Let's break down some strategies. First, you need some serious security. In the game, you rely on cameras. In real life, you'd need more advanced tools. Motion detectors, thermal sensors, and high-tech surveillance to track every corner of the building. You'd also need strong, reinforced doors to block them out. Next, you need to manage your power. Just like in the game, power is your lifeline. In a place like Freddy's, you'd have backup generators. But even those won't last forever. You'd need to be smart about when to use power for the doors and cameras, or else you'd end up defenseless. You'd also need an escape plan. If the animatronics broke through, you couldn't just sit there. You'd need hidden exits, safe rooms, and maybe even traps to slow them down. It wouldn't be about fighting them. It would be about surviving them. Now, let's talk about the hardest part of surviving. Your mind. Sure, setting up security and tracking the animatronics is one thing. But what happens to you mentally when you're hunted? Night after night, knowing that a machine wants to kill you. 1,000 pounds, by the way. They're probably just sitting there and saying like, "Oh, you know how long I've been waiting for this." So, psychological toll of a situation like this will be overwhelming. In the game, you're scared, but you know it's not real. But if you were in a real-life Freddy's, the fear will be constant. It wouldn't go away when the game ends. Fear changes how your brain works. You guys probably heard of this, but fight or flight. So your fight or flight response kicks in and everything becomes about survival. But here's the catch. If you panic, you make mistakes, and mistakes mean the difference between life and death. When you're under that kind of stress, your body releases adrenaline, your heart races, your breathing gets faster, and your mind focuses only on immediate threats. This is great for short-term danger, but over time it wears you down. Your senses become heightened, but so does your anxiety. Imagine hearing every creak, every footsteps in the building. Your brain starts to play tricks on you. You think you hear something, but it's just your imagination. It's also the same thing that's happening whenever you're alone in your house. You think you're hearing something, but no, it's just your imagination. Or maybe there is someone there, but who knows? So the longer this goes on, the harder it gets to stay calm. Fear makes you hyper alert, but it also makes you freeze. In a place like Freddy's, freezing for even a second could be your last mistake.
Oh, that is some creepy shit, man. You cannot come in and eat here. No, you can't.
Now, let's talk about PTSD. And even if you survive the night, the mental effects don't just disappear. Surviving in a high-stress environment like Freddy's would likely lead to a long-term trauma.
Oh, no, 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 no. No, it wasn't me. It was Ignacio. He's the one. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no.
Imagine surviving 5 nights of near-death experiences, only to have your mind haunted by it afterward. You'd be left with constant nightmares, panic attacks, and paranoia, never fully trusting that the danger is gone. Because the brain can just switch off the fear once the threat is gone. It would take months, maybe years, to recover from the trauma of being hunted. And maybe it wouldn't. And the psychological scars might never fully heal. So could you survive 5 nights at Freddy's in real life? Maybe. But it wouldn't just be about dodging the animatronics. It would be about keeping your mind sharp under pressure, making quick decisions, and managing your fear. The truth is, most people wouldn't make it through all 5 nights. Majority of you guys could only make it at least a night. And even if they did, the psychological toll would last a lifetime. So, thank you so much for watching Game Science Unlocked. We're just getting started, by the way, so your support means everything to us. If you enjoyed this video and want to help us grow, hit that like button and subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss any future contents. We're excited to build this community with you. Until next time, stay safe and keep exploring. Adios.